dobry Państwu.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I can welcome all the participants of the 11th Congress Polish Chemistry, the most important chemistry event in Poland and Europe. Today's meeting is an exceptional opportunity to exchange views, ideas, and experience, and ideas for future development of our industry. We are ahead of us 2 days of prelections, debates, and presentation. Now, Tomasz Zieliński, doctor, engineer, the president of the Polish Chamber of Chemistry Industry. Please come to the stage. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I am not sure whether you heard exactly the words when he said that this event is the most important in Poland and in Europe. Last year, we always said that it is the most important event in Poland and Central Europe, and right now we are the most important event in the whole Europe. So ovation, and thank you to all of you for coming here. Ladies and gentlemen, today we meet in Warsaw at the 11th Congress. And we have ahead of us a very difficult and interesting challenge. We have communicated this challenge. We are going to publish the Manifest of Polish Chemistry. We're going to discuss key challenges and risks and everything that concerns the chemistry industry today. First of all, Polish, and second of all, European, and everything that is the driver for present situation. We are going to discuss all the triggers for this interesting situation right now. It's great that you have come here. It's the first time in Warsaw. The Congress has taken place in various locations in Poland, and this time we meet in Warsaw. The Chamber of Polish Chemistry is located here in Warsaw, so we are at our homeland. This is the national administration that is present today with us, and it is my great honor to welcome all the guests on the Polish administration side. I'd like to welcome the Prime Minister Waldemar Pawlak. He is going to be here. Right now he's not present with us yet. And I would also like to welcome Ms. Member of Parliament, Ms. Barbara Lenartowicz. It's great that you are with us. She is the representative of the Polish Commission of Environment. She is important for us. This chamber is important for us. This commission is important for us of the Polish chemistry industry. This person has always been on our side and supported our chemistry industry, and she motivated us for great and important work. Thank you for coming here. Secretary of State Waldemar Sługocki from the Ministry of Technology Development. Good morning, Minister. I'd like to welcome Minister Miłosz Motyka, Ministry of Environment and Climate. Good morning. Today, we also have the host with us. This is the Mazovia Voivodeship, Marshal of the Mazovia Voivodeship, Mr. Adam Struzik. Good morning. On the side of the industry, there's always an element which is very interesting and difficult. This is technical supervision. So during the next 2 days, we are going to discuss certain technological challenges. Mr. Ziółkowski from Technological Supervision is with us. Good morning. And on behalf of Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Roszko, I would like to welcome you warmly. Ladies and gentlemen, this Congress would not have taken place without the support of our partners. I would like to thank the special partner and the main partners with us. You supported our activities, you supported our organization of this Congress. I would like to express my gratitude to our honorary partners and media partners. I think we will have opportunities for interesting discussions today and tomorrow. In order not to prolong the introduction, I'd like to say that we are opening the Congress and we are moving to the part of official openings and more interesting elements that we have in our agenda. Waldemar Sługocki, Secretary of State, Ministry of Development of Technology. The floor is yours. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am very happy to be here with you at this Congress of Chemistry Industry. I'd like to thank you for the invitation, and I would also appreciate your work. It is very important that we meet today here in Warsaw. The President has already mentioned that you haven't met in various locations in Poland. It is very important that we meet in a very special time. There are two elements of this special time. First of all, this is a conflict and regular war, the aggression of Russia against Ukraine. And the second element is the policies realized within the European Union, also in the context of future challenges. What is even more important, it is in view of the Polish presidency that will take place in the second half next year. It all brings us to get prepared for the coming time and to make use of it to set a certain tone in the European debate that will have impact on the future development of chemical industry. Chemical industry is immensely important for Polish economy. The share of Polish industry in sale value is over 500 billion Polish zlotys, so this is over 8.5% of employment. You employ lots of people in numerous companies. In the European dimension, the chemistry industry is also very important. All this should make us all want to undertake a dialogue, cooperation in order to live up to challenges in the future. And it's worth to mention that we are ahead of us a double transformation, energy transformation and transition and digital transition. I would like all of us to benefit from today and tomorrow to create interaction among all of us. I would also like to express my gratitude for all your work that you have done up to today. I would like to ask for your active participation in this meeting with the Ministry of Climate and Environment, with the Ministry of Development, with all the important ministries. Please be active in the interaction in international groups and European Union groups. It's up to your activity, up to your active position that we are able to develop alliances and cooperation. And thanks to this, we will be able to be efficient and successful in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, there is one important message to express today and tomorrow. On one hand, we will develop the potential of chemical industry in Poland. This is important. We have to work on chemical industry, Polish chemical industry, to be strong in Poland and in the European Union. But we also need to pay attention to level playing field for the development of chemical industry in Poland and in Europe. Another element is to develop the potential of this industry out of the European Union, among the third countries and among global players. This is a very important challenge. I am convinced that together we will be able to face this challenge and succeed. Thank you very much for the invitation to this Congress, and I hope for interaction with you. I hope for interesting discussions. I wish you a fruitful Congress, and we will meet in panel debate soon. Thank you very much for your attention. Adam Struzik, Marshal of the Mazowieckie Voivodeship. Please come to the stage. Member of Parliament, ministers, ladies and gentlemen, President of the Polish Chamber of Chemical Industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all here in the Mazovia Voivodeship. We say that Mazovia Voivodeship is the heart of Poland, but we may also say that it's the heart of Europe as well. Today, President Zieliński has already said that this event is important not only for Poland, but also for the whole Europe. And therefore, it is important to mention all the situations that we observe in the context of elections that are going to take place in few days, and other situations on the geopolitical stage. Right now, we face certain global trends of policies and certain policies in Europe, and they will be recreated after next elections for the European Parliament. I believe that we are at a moment where, first of all, we are implementing very ambitious projects concerning European Green Deal. There are many processes related to energy transition. There are processes related to everything that we call energy savings, energy reduction, and resource saving, circular economy, and all the rules of equitable sustainable development. All this makes the role of chemical industry grow. There are certain regulations concerning this industry which become very significant. In our voivodeship, we pay close attention to economic development, especially to chemical industry. Chemical industry in Poland accounts for 20% of totality. In the Mazovia voivodeship, it has a special importance. We are the headquarters of the most important crude oil corporate company, Orlen. There are other companies that are related. We have pharmaceutical industry and chemicals industry, household chemicals industry, etc. So we can see that we need cooperation and support. I am saying it on behalf of other marshals of other voivodeships as well. We have European Union funds to make use of, especially during the first stage where we have the possibility of creating cooperation among the scientific world, the world of academia, and the world of industry. I encourage you to benefit from this opportunity. We also have national programs, and we are in the beginning of development of learning how to make use of European Union funds. I encourage you to work closely with all the environments. We have close cooperation with the Polish Chamber of Chemical Industry, and we believe that this dialogue is very important. This is a dialogue between public authorities and this industry. We need to exchange information. Mazovian Voivodeship is a part of a Polish region of chemical entities, and it is a great platform for presenting our opinions, to develop certain opinions, especially in the Committee of Regions, and such opinions we have already benefited from the possibility of creating such opinion developing them. I wish all of you to have positive effects of this Congress and to have a fruitful debate. And I have to say that the importance of this Congress is not only for Poland, but also for Europe. Marek Roszko, Director of the Institute of Biotechnology of Agri-Food Industry, with Czesław Siekierski's letter from the Ministry of Rural Development. President, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for the invitation to today's Congress. I would like to present the sector of biotechnology. This is a sector that understands the need and importance of the presence of the chemical industry. The Minister of Agriculture couldn't come today to this Congress, and I will read out the letter of the Minister. President, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the invitation to the 11th Congress Polish Chemistry. Due to previous obligations, I am not able to participate personally in this very important event. Therefore, I would like to express my greetings to the participants of this meeting. This is a cyclical event, a regular event, which collects all the entities of chemical industry and is a great platform for exchange of experience and knowledge of chemical industry, which is fundamental for our economy. This development of chemical industry is subject to all the restrictions of environment and regulations. You're going to discuss it during the Congress. I'd like to draw your attention to the impact of chemical industry on agriculture. All the chemical elements and chemical products are very important for agriculture because they increase efficiency of work and yield. They have direct impact on yield, especially when we talk about fertilizers and feed additives. Therefore, cooperation between agriculture and chemistry is very important, especially in terms of exchange of knowledge, joint realization of certain projects. Together, we are able to secure food security for Poland and Europe. A challenge which should be discussed is to combine production of chemical products with eco approach to environment. We should benefit from the knowledge of scientists in this respect and pay attention to biodegradability. Your participation in this development is crucial. We know that you have succeeded in implementing certain regulations and in implementing developments for eco-friendly development of this industry. Your impact on agriculture, quality of food and environment is undisputable. This year's Congress is very important because it takes place in a year when we have 20th anniversary of Polish joining the European Union. It is a jubilee which makes us think over our path concerning previous 20 years. Being in the European Union opens lots of opportunities for us, and Poland has gone through important transition. Our economy is more sustainable and more competitive. In order to succeed, we need to cooperate in the future. Time is difficult because we have war in the Ukraine and high energy prices together with high raw material prices, which constitute a challenge for the development of Polish chemistry. However, we trust that great management will enable to overcome these difficulties. I wish you a fruitful debate and creation of many ideas for further development of agriculture and chemical industry. Czesław Siekierski, Minister of Rural Development. I wish you a fruitful debate, and I encourage you to cooperate among agriculture, science and chemical branches and industries. Representatives of our strategic partners and special partners will take the floor. Representative of Strategic Partner, Ireneusz Fonfara, President of the Orlen Management Board and the Head of the Polish Chamber of Chemical Industry.
Panie, panowie, szanowni goście.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank you, the chair, in the first place. Thank you for allowing us to be the strategic partner of this very important event. And Mr. Chair has said today that it's the most important chemical event in Europe. So it's a surprise to us, but we feel proud of that and acknowledged. Thank you. Previous speakers have mentioned the threats of today's world. There are geopolitical challenges, war challenges, but there are also regulatory challenges. They are related to new policies, climate-related, energy-related policies, and also something that is also very important and not as mentioned as before, namely the pandemic, its aftermath, disrupted supply chains, etc. We have to face it. Also, this is a great opportunity to us. Partially, we brought these problems on ourselves, I mean, climate, etc., and these we can try to fix. We can fix it thanks to the efforts of the people involved in the industry, new ideas, AI, digitization, biotechnology. if we join all these forces, all these tools, and try to make a difference, if we do it, we people from the chemical industry, we will be able to make the world a better place. And I really believe that we can do it. And today, tomorrow, is the time to talk about it, because it's on us, people, to make the difference, to change the world. So I would like to wish you a fruitful conference today and tomorrow. Let's have constructive debates. Let's disagree in a constructive way, but because only through debates and discussions we can coin a better future. Thank you. Now, Katarzyna Byczkowska, representative of BASF Poland, CEO, Managing Director, and BASF is our strategic partner. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy that we all agree that the industry is of strategic importance for Poland, but also for Europe, for industry and manufacturing. And we are all aware of the fact that the chemical industry is facing many challenges. This is a turning point in history. What is decided today will determine the future of this industry, of its employees. So I'm happy to be here with you, because today here we can talk and exchange experiences. BASF, as you know, is a global company, is one of the largest chemical substances producer. And I can only confirm that indeed the industry is facing many challenges. Competitiveness is one of the issues, because this is a very energy-intensive industry. Therefore, it's hardly hit by climate change. Climate change affects the prices of raw materials and competitiveness. Mr. Farah has already mentioned the legal framework. This is also an important topic to us. US is believed to be innovation, China is believed to be imitation, and Europe is believed to be regulation. And for our industry, the chemical one, where we need to abide by ever stricter regulations, this is a huge challenge. We all know that we can't avoid energy transition. We all agree sustainable growth is what we want. But it's about how. So I'm looking forward to our debates today to make joint decisions about the Polish Chemistry Manifesto, because this is going to be our answer to the challenges of the chemical industry. And I'm very happy to see this manifesto 4 months after the Antwerp Declaration. You probably know what it is. This is the reply of all the energy-efficient industries, but mainly the chemical industry, to the challenges brought about by regulations and also the world. It was signed by Ursula von der Leyen in Antwerp, therefore the name. I'm very happy that we'll have a local answer to this Antwerp Declaration here. And also, the good thing of this Congress is that it is a place to talk about innovations as well. Because innovations are the answer to the energy transition. Innovations will allow us to create products and technologies which will help us, my company, BASF, but also our customers and partners to overcome the transition. I'm very happy to be here. I wish you an interesting day today and tomorrow. And I hope, I really believe that together we can come up with a solution for the industry so that it can continue to grow. Now, Artur Kucia, Director of Strategic Client Department of the Heavy and Mining Industry in PKO Bank Polski, also a strategic partner. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. PKO Bank Polski is honored to take part in yet another edition of this Polish Chemical Congress. And once again, I'm pleased to attend this very special event. We are the largest Polish financial institution, and we are a partner to most of you here. Most of chemical companies, both smaller ones, medium-sized companies, and also the largest ones. I can see many familiar faces here today. We are the strategic partner of the Polish Chamber of the Chemical Industry, PAPC, but also for many of you, I think. This proves that we are the right bank for you, but we are also responsible. We have the know-how, the expertise, we understand your business. But also we are responsible because we make decisions, both positive and negative decisions. And whenever we make them, we can always explain it to you so that we reach common understanding, because this is how we understand being a partner. This is what it means to us. This Congress is organized before the European election. That might not be very important, the bank, but we all realize that the chemical industry is over-regulated. This has been already said by the previous speaker. The most over-regulated chemical industry, and also this affects our approach in the bank. In the bank, we have to take it into consideration. Compliance is an important aspect for us. Compliance with the European regulations and rules. We will vote in a few days. And we represent the chemical industry. So when we are going to the polls, we should send us a clear signal. We should send MEPs that will be responsible, and we should vote for people who understand the business but also are responsible in their decision making. Probably we will be discussing these topics today and tomorrow. We will agree and disagree. And I wish you a successful Congress. Thank you. Now, Kamil Majczak, President of the Management Board, Kinetica, representative of the special partner, the last speaker for this part of the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I would also like to wish you an interesting and fruitful debate so that we can develop a Polish chemistry manifesto. The Congress for many years have been a place where we agree and disagree, we discuss things, and we also set the trends. And this is the most important thing now, given the timing. Now, today, I'm happy to welcome you as a representative of Chemetica. The company has been rebranded. For 79 years, the company was called Ciech. Now it's Chemetica. And this is a very good example of the stage that the industry is going through. Our business strategy is about innovations, about sustainable growth, implementing innovations, and changing ourselves as a player on the chemical market. These are the most important aspects. And I think you will all disagree that they are essential for the industry to grow both in Europe and globally and to face the challenges of sustainable growth, which is unavoidable. Chemica sets itself difficult and ambitious goals, same as the EU does for the industry. We have to be motivated to implement new technologies, to develop them, to discover them, and to keep changing as industry. We have a new strategy now for 2024-29. I think it fits very well with the times, the ESG goals, which are very well integrated with the strategy. So now it's high time we drafted a manifesto to define the things the industry needs so that we are able to measure up to the challenges. We know what we have to do, but we need the right environment to achieve our goals. Thank you, and I wish you an interesting Congress. Now, the Polish Chemistry Manifesto will be presented by Tomasz Zieliński, CEO of the PIPC, the Polish Chamber of Chemical Industry. Afterwards, he will moderate the strategic debate with representatives of the administrative bodies and important companies and participants of the Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been news for some time. We've been telling you that we will develop the Polish Chemistry Manifesto today. Together. Not today, together, because it's not going to be done today. It's going to be done in the upcoming days, weeks, maybe, with you. Because we want the manifesto to be a set of very specific, very tangible aspects, suggestions, and proposals. The chemical industry is really struggling today. And I think it's high time we said enough. Enough of living in the past and focusing on what we did in the past. Now we have to address very specific risks for the industry. If we fail to do that, we will be in serious trouble. So why are we drafting this manifesto? Why are we doing it at all? We know what the market looks like. But let's have a look at it from a different angle, because it's not a typical, a usual crisis we go through from time to time. The ups and downs of the economy. Now the situation is different, because the Polish chemistry industry is facing some difficulties, and so is the European chemical industry. And this is an outcome of a few overlapping events. And most of them started at the beginning of the pandemic. So the pandemic hit the market, the industry, and brought about changes. The supply changes were disrupted, and it was a game changer for the chemical industry. And also, afterwards, we had the war, which was also another important game changer for the industry. And it showed that the industry is not immune to the changing geopolitical environment. It's vulnerable. And if we add other factors typical of the industry to that, we arrive at a very difficult trend. A few years ago, the European Commission announced their goal of reindustrializing Europe, about bringing back industry and manufacturing to Europe. Europe should become more independent from economies of other parts of the world. But I think someone made a typo because instead of reindustrialization, we have a deindustrialization, don't you think? Because many European companies are running away from Europe. They are thinking seriously about moving out to other regions where it's cheaper to manufacture, where there are fewer regulations. But is this deindustrialization, this trend, really that serious for the industry in Europe? So this is a difficult situation. We have to face it. We have to develop our manifesto in response to it. We want a sound and competitive and efficient industry. But in order to achieve that, we have a few elements to overcome. We have high energy prices, we have climate goals, and a few more things. The market has been remodeled, and now it behaves in a different way. Look at the past, look at the present. Now, if you look at Europe, it's a collapse. And look at Russia. There's the war, but look at the last year and Q1 of this year, and look at China. No crisis in China. And these figures are affecting the chemical industry. Look at the economic growth. It's very low. A light at the end of the tunnel. But if you look at China, their economy is booming. So this is a real risk to us. Now, a simple analogy. 20 years ago, as the minister mentioned in his letter, 20 years ago, Poland joined the EU, and so did the chemical industry. The markets opened, technologies became available, the flow and trade of products, licenses, it was all free and open to us. Great. But the world and the chemical industry looked totally different back then. It was all at our hands reached, and we were looking forward to it because it was not as available as today. Look at this device. It was simple and very practical. And today, you have a smartphone. You can download our app and write the manifesto together with us. In the past, welders looked like this, and today they look like this. So it's a completely different world. The world is changing so fast. So it's very difficult to keep up with all the changes. That's why we need to respond properly. Look at the chemical industry. 20 years ago, it was the most important industry 20 years ago in the world. And now, this is sales in the past and today. So China's position is so dominant in the world today that it's difficult to even think to catch up with, to think about catching up with them. 20 years ago, we were a strong sector, and now the manufacturing sales have gone up five-fold, and so did the investment outlays.
It's great. All this makes us feel certain in this world, resistant to market behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, when we look at the share of Europe, 20 years ago, European share was 27% in the worldwide market of chemicals sale. That was over 1/4 of the share of the world chemicals market. Let's check what happened with this share in the next 20 years. And right now we are here. You see? Look, let's start. Next, that was 27%. Next few years, this is the participation of the Polish chemistry in the market. And here, and we are here, 14%. During 2 decades, the market share dropped twice. This is a tragedy. It's a drama. It's only 20 years. Many indicators are growing, but other regions like China caused a situation we are facing today. It's a difficult situation. And now we have competitiveness. This is the key issue. Do we really have it? When we look at it, we know what influences it and how it behaves. And we know we have expensive energy. It influences competitiveness. Innovations influence it as well. But if we focus only on the selected key elements, we can notice that competitiveness is subject to numerous drivers. It depends not only on the basic drivers, but also on other drivers. We are discussing the basic ones like climate goals, emission goals for 2030, 50. No matter what is the timeline, we know that there are factors influencing competitiveness and times running. All the other factors in today's world make our competitiveness drop. Let's look at the European Union and how it defined in the past competitiveness. Let's look at the definition. A few years ago, Christian Odenhall, the chief economist of the European Center of Reforms in the European Union, said those words: in order to become more competitive, Europe should stop using the word competitiveness. Now I'll stop this quotation. There are other words below, but this is the most important part of it. Well, seriously? Seriously? Was he really serious? If you looked at it and be serious about it, not use the word competitiveness concerning this industry, then what should we function around today in order to reconstruct this market share we used to have 20 years ago? Are we still competitive? In this manifesto, we should look at certain elements in our industry and decide whether they are important for our competitiveness or not. We want to be competitive. This is our future. These are our workplaces. This is our development. We want to be competitive. And we want to create this manifesto together with you and with all the participants here and with everybody that participates in the debate and with all those who are with us thanks to the application. We want to collect your opinions, your points of view, your comments. We will write them down and together we will work on the manifesto for Polish administration, for the newly elected European Union authorities. We want to have a good sign, good voice with which we can address the President of the European Union. We hope for good cooperation with you. That's the first thing. And then we count on good discussion. And right now I want to invite Waldemar Sugacki, the Ministry on the Development of Technology, Mr. Minister Miłosz Motyka, Ministry of Climate and Environment, Katarzyna Byczkowska, President of Kabas Poland, Mr. Gajdus, Vice President of the Management Board of Orlen, Kamil Majczak, Management Board of Chemetika, and Mr. Artur Kucia, PKO BP, Polish Bank. Please come to the stage and sit down. Ladies and gentlemen, I will say a few words in terms of introduction. Manifesto. What is it going to be? As you can see, we proposed 6 pillars around which we are going to have discussions and develop the manifesto. The manifesto is available to all of you in the application. This is only the framework for our work. This is the foundation of it. We want those key proposals to be further developed in detail in cooperation with administration later on. We want to have a good food for thought here. There is the foundation, which is a good point, but it is not very detailed for the European Union industry. It indicates certain important directions, and together with you, we want to develop it in detail. I'm looking for my microphone. Yes, I found it. Thank you. As you can see, we have 6 pillars here around which we are going to discuss certain challenges. We have 1, market protection; 2, sustainable chemistry; 3, friendly regulations; 4, circular economy; energy transition. We will move on to market protection, number 1. We will not go into detail for further detailed challenges. You have them in your application and on the left screen. First of all, we have securing community market. Cheap goods are flowing into the market. That's one thing. So we need to secure our homeland production, and we also want to be sustainable and equitable in developing competitiveness of our industry. Today we have representative of Chemetica. Chemetica faces certain challenges in this area. Yes, not only Chemetica, all the chemical industry has these challenges. Yes, that's true. Market protection. Let's look at the second element, sanctions, increasing sanctions. Today we are facing not only challenges from China, but also from Russia and Belarus. Certain sanctions were imposed on them. However, still there are products which are destabilizing our European market. Can we use such tools? Are they effective here? Yes, I think yes. We have a good example here in terms of Belarusian salt and other products which are on the sanction list. Those products enter European Union together with other chemical products. And here we have a very tangible example which we managed together with the Polish Chamber to put into life, put into effect. There are other feedstocks which are later on processed, and we know that they enter the Polish land from Belarus and from Russia, and we know that it is counterproductive for our competitiveness, not only here in Poland, but also in Europe. This is the first wave in terms of Belarus and Russia of this process. It is our everyday work and everyday challenge. We need to supervise it, yes, but it is not only from the level of the national administration, it's also from the level of the European administration to pay attention to what is going on this frontier. Yes, yes. So we have revision of sanctions, review of sanctions. Protection of the market. Is anybody here in the room who wants to submit a certain proposal? Be brave, please, otherwise I will look for volunteers. All right, so think it over, please, and you will have more space to submit your comments and proposals. Ministry of Development. You are a certain guardian of the chemical industry. You cooperate with us. We are on an ongoing basis of cooperation when we submit certain threats we face to you, so you know about it. So you are in a way positioning the opportunities of the industry. Thanks to you, we know whether it is profitable to place our products on the Polish or European market. Thanks to you, we know whether we can be competitive globally at all. What is today's approach of the Ministry of Technology Development for looking for solutions concerning products coming to Poland and Europe from third countries which are not up to standards? They are out of standards in terms of environment and ecology. How can we get rid of those products from our market? What you're talking about is very important. We are aware of what is going on. I would like to refer to the slide you presented during the introduction concerning the situation in Russia. Minus 2.5%, that was the data you presented, and then there was a sharp growth. It should make us reflect over what has happened in the European continent against global background, because after a certain time of stagnation in terms of Russia, we have Russia that is blooming, that is developing just like the Chinese market. That should be the situation which should make us think it over, first of all. Maybe the products of chemical industry are flowing into the European market. I would divide it into several categories. First of all, we should seal up the common market of the European Union against the flow of products from third countries which do not live up to ecological standards. We're all aware and we all agree that climate transition is an indispensable element in our industry. We want to have sustainable development and we want to pass down climate in good condition to further generations. But we have costs here, and the cost should not be borne only by economies in the European Union and particular industries. The cost should be shared globally. We, as the aware players globally, should impose certain pressure on other economies, on the United States, on China, on Russia. Here we all know that those countries also bear ecological costs of their actions. They are competitive globally, but they face climate costs of it. So we should put pressure on them. Yes, but we had frontier tax. We used to have it. Yes, it was here. We, as state administration, we do not have mechanisms to launch, for example, price protection. We are aware, according to European Union regulation, how to initiate such actions. We cooperate with you, we encourage you. But the legal initiative here, the statutory initiative, is on producers that are manufacturing goods. 25% of manufacturing producers for a given good in the European Union has the regulatory initiative. They can submit proposal for regulation to protect the producers of a given good against the flow of such products from Russia or China. And we've had examples of such solutions. I want you to be aware that it is possible. This sort of tax has been implemented. This sort of frontier tax has been implemented thanks to this initiative. This is a duty on imported goods. I have already discussed such solutions with other sectors, and we want you to develop certain closer relationship with colleagues from your industry within European Union. Use your forums, use your platforms to develop this type of relationship and undertake this joint effort to introduce a certain duty for certain goods imported to European Union. It is possible. And in reference to future Polish presidency, if we have this manifesto developed together, based on those 6 pillars, which are very complementary, very logical, they define all the needs of this chemical industry. If we do it together, then with the partners of other European Union, we need to find other partners to cooperate. What do I mean here? Those other partners have to be also aware of the challenges and work to do. Together, we all know that our European market shoulders certain burden of digital transition, climate transition, energy transition. We have to be competitive no matter what, no matter whether we like it or not. We as decision makers in the European Union, we have to be aware of it. We're also here to strengthen this awareness and to spread it. There is also the space for deepening dialogue with the administration, which could increase competitiveness immensely. Yes, of course, it's important. Apart from duty tax, there is also protection of our market. We need to have well-sealed frontiers. We have to be aware that Russia is using various tricks and methods on the market, and we know that certain goods come to the European market not directly from Russia. We are all aware of it. All the countries are aware of it. So maybe we should have certain certificates of origin for the products that are imported to Europe. Yes. Now, energy transition, another pillar. On the left, you can see hydrogen technology, CCUS, financial means for carbon net zero projects. All that we have suggested for the time being. When you look at the infrastructure technology, we also have challenges here. The totality of climate neutrality transition is important here as well. What is your opinion concerning changes in this respect? For our industry, we have lots of challenges. And from the point of view of financial support for the needs we have, I'm talking here about investments in infrastructure, regulatory elements. And the question is, what can we expect here? Oh, yes, but we should start with looking a few years behind. In the past, we had pandemics. The supply chain got broken. And there was a slogan that we have to reconstruct the Polish and European pharmaceutical and chemical industry. And we talked about competitiveness a little bit. We heard that Europe lost its competitiveness and we were strong with what we produced. And the results of it is visible on the slide. We saw it in numbers. Europe is not competitive anymore when we compare it to China, to Arab countries, to the USA. I was following the discussion on the Katowice Economy Congress, and they indicated several threats there. We also talked about regulations there. Regulations, yes, but as Europe, which is paying attention to sustainable development, which is the foundations of our policy, we as Europe, do we keep our position? It seems that we failed to prepare well for such risks as we face today. And it seems that the regulatory burden on industry was too heavy. If it was too heavy, maybe we can lift it a little bit. Yes, but at the same time, we shouldn't be apprehensive of the duty tax discussion. Maybe we can write down a few words about regulatory issues in our manifestos. Yes, as a Polish presidency, we should also pay attention to it so that we can feel safe against future potential crises, so we can secure our position. I understand this lack of positive approach. Right now, we still have certain funds for this just transformation, just transition. It is a great slogan, but just transition should be based on supply security and energy security. Right now, unfortunately, we feel that we are losing it. That's why I'm talking about easy regulations, less stringent regulations in order to create incentives for this industry. From the point of view of energy, and we're talking here about investments, hydrogen, and regulations on the national level, we face not only slogans, but also concrete investments in energy transition network, energy transformation network. These are concrete numbers in terms of funds, electrolyzers, hydrogen are areas which are going to develop. We are creating incentives for these areas concerning hydrogen, first of all. It's going to be the core of agenda for the European Parliament. We have the whole procedure concerning administrative work and permits concerning wind farms and concerning connections in the energy grid. This homework, this lesson has been learned in the European Union, and here we are waiting for your suggestions and we are ready for efficient dialogue. However, regulatory results will be visible only in some time. In the European Union, we have energy transition, low carbon economy. These are great slogans.
I don't want this process to undermine security. I don't want us to focus too much on goals and indicators and lose jobs on the way, because this is a transition. Let's look at the mining sector. The mining sector is well aware of what's going on. So there is a social contract here. There has been education efforts and links between the business and other fields. So the mining sector will manage. The chemical industry will be in a much harder situation. Some have mentioned collapse here. The collapse will affect the technological chain and inflation. The inflation rate, yes, but it's something which is out of our control. But we need to review the Green Deal, the agricultural aspects, but the environmental ones as well. Would you like to add a point on the energy transition? Over to you. I don't want to throw it at you because safety first. I want to say a few words. Access and competitive price of energy. Access to energy at a competitive price in Poland is a very urgent issue. We've been speaking about decarbonization, but let's not forget that in Poland, energy continues to be one of the most expensive in Europe. For Polish industry, energy is very expensive, and 70% of this energy is coal-based. This is very difficult for the whole manufacturing industry, and we can see the effects, the consequences, and the worst is yet to come. But a part of it, the regulation, ETS2 should be put off for Poland, a year or two. These are the proposals. These are the measures we are going to take as the government. If you talk with the EU, well, the deadlines 2030, 2050 are not movable. You can put off the milestones, but not the final deadlines. A deadline is a deadline. But since 2004, we have received a lot of money from, let's say, the cohesion policy. We should have spent it gradually on energy transition. So the energy transition should be just, and this Just Transition Fund has given us almost 4 billion euros. So if we had spent this money consistently on the upgrade of the energy sector, we shouldn't be in this situation, which is paradoxical, where we need to protect the Polish industry, Polish individual consumers. We are spending billions of zlotys, and over the last 8 years, we've spent 800 million zlotys a year to upgrade the transmission grid. So this money does not go where it should. Why? There is over-regulation, yes, but if we spend the European funds on energy, if we decided to develop nuclear energy before, if we hadn't paralyzed wind energy, these are the lessons we need to learn, whether we like it or not. I'm not afraid of 2050 in the context of energy transition and the fact that Poland needs to build a nuclear plant, the first one and the second, according to the Polish nuclear program, the Polish offshore energy program, wind energy program. I think we can deal with that. We can manage. We can also upgrade the electricity grid. But there is something else I'm afraid of. We are losing competitivity, and it's happening now already, and we are lagging behind. Take the draft legislation on the support for the energy industry, but the draft legislation will have the highest possible levels of tax credits for the industry. We are still open to get your comments on the draft legislation. So our government can do it. Okay, so we are working together with Minister Motyka. We are trying to bring the prices of energy down as much as we can. Spain, France, Germany, they have dealt with it already. So the question arises, to add the point to what Minister has said, are we able to reach an understanding among other countries in the EU to notify public aid for the energy sector? So we have to do it two ways. We have to build a strong energy industry in Poland to bring down energy prices, but also we have to build alliances to protect the Polish sector, including the chemical industry. Public aid is interesting because every case of it needs to be notified. Maybe we should put relaxing the public aid procedures into the manifesto. Orlen today is very, very committed to energy transition today, and energy efficiency is one of its elements. Because you can be building new units, develop more capacity, but on the other hand, you can upgrade what you already have, the existing plants. Energy efficiency solutions need to be promoted. This is a must, but also this often means completely new funding models. Can you elaborate on that? I'll try, and I'll try to be brief. You, Minister, have mentioned that public aid procedures should be relaxed. But I will go further. Developing circular economy and just transition without public aid is not doable, is not possible to achieve. This is what we have to do here and now. Orlen, my company, is investing a lot of money in what you have mentioned, but we are not the only chemical and oil and gas industry company. This is a huge industry that will not manage without public aid, especially SMEs. And this is what you should do here and now. CCS, CCSU are to be promoted, but we should also promote ESCOs and similar models, not only through incentives and tax credit, but the government should participate in it. And we need to do it now before it's too late. We've also discussed the regulatory framework, the deadlines, Fit for 55, 2030. There is something missing here, I think. We should assess the consequences for the chemical industry in the context of the security of the market, the assessment, the current assessment. Because developing, promoting circular economy and energy transition cannot take place the way it's happening now. Now, limitations are being introduced, are being forced upon companies on the EU market, but they don't get anything in exchange. There's no diagnosis. There are no rules or regulations that would be an incentive that would encourage us to follow these strict rules. We can add a point, maybe not point 3 or 4, but maybe point 1 or 5 in the manifesto to put that whenever there are rules affecting the chemical industry, this should be accompanied by an immediate diagnosis of how it will affect the market. And also other rules should be suggested at the same time to protect the market from the Chinese competition or Russian competitors, etc. I mean, mechanisms and schemes to be introduced here and now to make up for the new measures for the industry, to make up for the measures introduced to the new industry, forced upon the new industry. Well, usually when lawyers speak, it's never conclusive, but what I mean is that any rules related to energy transition should be accompanied by protective rules that support the industry and help the industry. And now another pillar, the sustainable chemistry. A few ideas here. There's something that is often disregarded. It's undervalued, underappreciated. Chemical recycling, I mean. The chemical industry is really focused on developing good solutions here. BASF is a global company, and you promote chemical recycling. You have a strong focus on it, so chemical recycling is about reusing chemical waste, recycling chemical waste whenever it's possible to recycle it. You say in your strategy that you want to further reduce gas emissions, etc. But chemical recycling is about waste, reusing waste. So what does the industry need for this chemical recycling to become a fact, a tool to be used in practice? So let me add a point to the regulations and this holistic approach to regulations. Because whenever there's a new regulation, we need to be aware what its consequences will be like. Because regulations can be used as well to promote innovations and new technologies. We need a favorable legal framework in the EU that would encourage the growth of technologies and not only regulations that are bans and limitations. This technology of chemical recycling is already out there, up and running, but still there is no legislation to accompany it. It hasn't been recognized yet as a green technology. And we think it's a huge mistake, because this technology is very helpful. It helps become circular. Because take mechanical recycling, it can be applied only to a very specific, a very limited group of products that are clean, pre-cleaned, cleansed, and pre-processed. Plastic foil cannot be recyclable, for instance. But foil can be recycled chemically, not mechanically. Yes, that's right. So that's why this technology is so good, because it allows you to recycle products in a clean way with low CO2 emissions. You can turn plastic products into pyrolytic oil, and then this oil can be used to manufacture other products, be it packaging and others. So this is an example of innovation. So what does the industry need for this recycling technology to become a tool acknowledged by the EU and also applied by other companies? Well, the industry would need the right legislation, and the EU would have to recognize that this chemical recycling technology is complementary to mechanical technology, and pyrolysis oil should be considered a recycling product. And it's not there now. Talks are ongoing about how this pyrolysis oil should be treated. Speaking about this chemical recycling, today the easiest solution is to turn a polymer into another polymer. But maybe if you can't recycle something, you should reapply it somewhere else. Is it possible? Yes, and also take petrochemical recycling. We can call it this way, petrochemical recycling. For instance, to manufacture components or semi-components of fuels. I fully agree with the last speaker. The world is over-regulated, but actually there are a few aspects that are under-regulated here, and this applies to chemical recycling. For me, it's petrochemical recycling. if you take the next 20, 30 years, this chemical recycling can be very important if you want to meet the energy transition goals. Anyone would like to add a point about sustainable chemistry? Go ahead, Ms. Szałkowska. I would add transparency. The transparency of our industry. We should be more transparent about what we manufacture. We should be more transparent, accountable, and responsible about what we manufacture. This should be also part of our sustainability, because this is something, this is often a criticism we receive, that consumers don't know actually what we manufacture, and we don't want to share the knowledge. So transparency as part of sustainability. It's a trendy word, transparency, not only in the chemical industry, but I would like to add a point. Let's expect transparency from ourselves to the same extent as the EU requires transparency from us, from Chinese companies. I mean, we shouldn't go too far. Let's not expect from ourselves more than they expect from other markets. They should be as transparent. I mean, every company, every market player should have the same level of transparency. Because if we are too transparent, we might lose our competitive edge at all, if we still have any. Transparency, yes, but as long as it's global for all the products. To avoid a situation where when we force upon ourselves yet another limitation, which is not binding to products from Asia or China, where they are not subject to the same limitations. I mean, let's follow the same rules and apply the same rules for others. Not to put stumbling blocks in our way ourselves, to avoid a situation where we face more difficulties than other markets. Because then you let in products from other markets that don't have to face the same limitations. Okay, so the EU sets itself the goal of circular economy. This includes chemical recycling as well. But sometimes it's considered part of the energy transition, etc. It depends. But in this circular economy, the EU and Europe wants us to recycle the life cycle of our products. Recycle waste and fossil fuels and products, etc.
So we should reuse in order to be in the closed loop cycle for all the time. However, we also have a situation concerning sustainable chemicals strategy. Within this strategy, we have certain exemptions for certain products, or we should say propositions for exemptions. It makes it difficult to develop circular economy. And BASF promotes strongly withdrawal from full chain and moving towards waste management, which concerns factual implementing of circular economy. But to make it reality, to be self-sustainable, We have certain needs. What are the needs then? We need incentive mechanisms, supporting mechanisms and regulations. Maybe we should talk about CCS here. It's worth mentioning that we have sustainable development strategy concerning chemistry industry. And here we also have the strategy of exclusions of certain products, exemptions for certain products. You've mentioned this. And I would also like to refer to what has been said today. We need to be aware of the consequences of exemptions for certain products, and the consequences are going to be borne not only by the chemical industry, but also by consumers, the end user, and for other industries. There are certain examples for it. Recently, we've had a debate concerning products and pre-products for electrical cars, for the batteries for it. And right now, the main producer of the batteries are China. That's around 50–60% of global production. In Poland, we are the second producers in the world. We've got 3% of the market. And within the regulation, we discussed the prohibition of using key feedstocks for the production of the battery. In the end, the conclusion is that in Poland we're not going to produce them at all. So this is really suicidal regulation. We're going to have consequences, negative consequences of it in Poland, in Europe, and also in the sustainable development, because electromobility is one of the key elements of sustainable development for the future. So this is a suicidal move, because we are introducing exemptions for products which are not green, and later on we are not able to achieve energy transition. Yes, in circular economy, in sustainable development, there are certain elements which are important. For example, the ESG, which has been mentioned today. The reporting is binding for all of us right now. Maybe not formally, but in fact all of us will have to face ESG reporting and following and investment. From the point of view of an institution engaged in financing this domain, this industry, we may say that this industry is still attractive. At what can we do to make it even more competitive? ESG imposes the need for improvement on this industry. However, for us, there is cost to be borne. When I've been preparing for today's conference, I've had certain reminiscence concerning the last 20 years, and I thought that 20 years ago, in order to verify a given company, to check its market viability, we looked at this financial sheet of the company. Right now, we have all these algorithms measuring credit capacity of a given company. So I look at the financial balance sheet, I look at the results of the company, and then I add further elements which are binding. There's the whole taxonomy concerning ESG, evaluation of various indicators, environmental impact, and so on and so forth. ESG are three letters, not only E. E is the most popular. However, we also have S and G, social and governance. I don't know their value for the future in all this formula, on this mathematical formula, but we will have a situation where a company will employ intermediary company, which will also have certain intermediary company, and in the end we're going to have those slaves working for this company. So this is the situation when we are following the path, looking at who's actually doing the work in the end for this company. There is the risk. It will have impact on final credit capacity of the given company. We as chemical industry would like to be treated in a more benign way, We want to invest for our improvement in governance as well, so that for you as a financing industry, we are attractive to get this ranking ladder A. Yes, yes. Let's talk about A. A means acceptable in banking. But what can we do to make the situation easier for us? Today, when you're entering the credit committee with your application to submit it, you need to have two elements. First is the financial condition of the company, and then verification concerning green energy sources of the company, concerning where the company sources its energy, whether you're active in sourcing green energy. And it's worth thinking over whether your investment in improving energy efficiency is good enough. The further you go in the investments, the more you achieve. I'm talking about SMRs now, so this is the nuclear energy development. When we hear about SMRs today, we are talking about two locations on the south of Poland. These are locations concerning Orlen, Płock, Włocławek, Ostrołęka. These are the main locations we're talking today. And we also have SMR linked to heavy industry and other locations. So today we are going to look for such solutions. Today we have solutions which are based on green sources linked to energy warehouses, energy storing. Green energy today is not enough. Storing green energy is also important. The second element is product for our customers. So we are looking at your products and we are verifying whether they are or whether they are going to be on the list of exemptions for given products. Because, for example, your product is linked to high greenhouse gases emission. So these are two elements you need to take into consideration. You have to be careful about your product, circularity, biodegradability of the product, and energy. All the things that we are discussing here can be put into regulations. We need good regulations. We need friendly regulations. This is the name of the next pillar, friendly regulations fostering growth. Those regulations should be developed in a way that we can implement, that they should be developed in a way to be implemented in a safe way. Is there any proposal here? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Pawełczuk. I would like to share with you one comment. I believe that many of you have heard such comments. Quite often, various European Union directives are implemented into Polish regulations. They are friendly, more or less friendly. We do not have any capacity to influence their shape. Then we have ministerial regulations. I do not fully understand why. Quite often we have a situation where ministerial regulation is more radical, more stringent, and making our life more difficult, making the situation, the environment more difficult for investments than the directive itself. Thank you very much for this comment, for this question. Have we noted it? Yes, we have. Ladies and gentlemen, is there any other comment or question? So I'd like to ask you a question. It is a question to you at the table here on the stage. Developing friendly regulations concerns several elements. One of them is a good, deep dialogue with administration. Yes, we have certain acts which are the basis for the functioning of the administration. We should have dialogue with the industry. This is the full consultation process. These are all the government acts and dialogues which are important. And Minister, on our side, already at the stage of the development of a given act, not at the stage when we receive the act written down on the table, when we can comment on it. We need the dialogue in the beginning, at the moment of designing the act. Yes, I would even say more. We need you at the beginning when the conception work is taking place, because you're the environment who knows what's going on. You know the details. If you know certain regulations that touch on you, which are over-regulating your environment in comparison to European Union directives, please let us know. We will analyze them, and if we can see certain premises to make them less stringent, to relax such acts and regulations, we will liberalize them. We are open to it. As the Ministry of Development of Technology, we are going to be the driving force to live up to your expectations in our work, because this feedback from you is crucial in this process. So please let us know about such situations. Minister Motyka has already mentioned social consultations. And I believe that there are many situations which are not successful. We've got pre-consultations with energy-intensive industries, and we have now regulation concerning Shield Act for energy-intensive industry, and we skip social consultation here. And why? Because we want to care about liquidity of the energy sector, and we want to have this money at the end of September. We are in a hurry. We don't have time for everything. This is a very exceptional situation. And if you hear politicians or people nagging at me in this process, please defend me, because we are doing our best, really. But sometimes we have regulations which are over-regulating the industry. Let's call them over-regulating regulations. Maybe we should have certain analysis of them. I just wanted to say one more thing. On the 5th of April, we have submitted one paper. We started the procedure of deregulating package. That's the first package which we are introducing. So these are deregulations which are going to live up to the expectations of Polish entrepreneurs. But can I disagree? This is a joke, of course. Of course, we need to cooperate with chemical industry, and there is also one thing that we have to do up to the end of September 2024. And ministers are in a difficult situation here, but I hope that up to the end of September we can count on this round table on those discussions, because there are chemical industry representatives and they are coming to you with certain proposals which you still have time to revise. Oh, that's of course great. We will do round table with codes, but where is the difficult situation? The difficult situation is to make you commit to cooperate. We are here for you to cooperate. We are very happy to have this situation here. And the chamber is going to have a problem, because up to the end of September they will have to do their homework, prepare all the regulations. Ladies and gentlemen will meet again, they will discuss what can be done, what can be changed. Yes, I think it's possible. I will say one more thing concerning regulations. Regulations have been discussed in all those elements that were touched on here today. We have ESG, and I would write them down. I would include them in the European Union regulations, and I would also include returning to the European Union market, which can be something beneficial for the Polish chemistry. So maybe we should promote the production from China, Kazakhstan and India's production and its flow into the European Union. And also we should promote those producers who have never moved out of European Union to China in industry. And the last pillar, future of Polish chemistry. Time's running. We are over time right now. We have suggested several elements here. employment and staff issues which are important in transition of AI, the 5.0 industry which becomes the new norm, and launching sectorial programs for innovations. I only want to sum it up with you. Please, let's put it in a nutshell. What do we need to be present, to be and continue existing in this area in the future? It's great that we all discuss what the industry needs. Thanks to this, we are aware of the challenges. Cost of electricity needs emphasizing here, and we need to have return on our investments, because in the end, industry invests there when the ROI is found. And we need to change quickly the environment we are operating in. We as industry need to have certain incentives. We need to have motivation to develop this industry here in Poland, and energy cost is one of such factors. Energy cost today decides where return on investment is. From the point of view of the European chemical industry, we may say that in Polish administration we need support for various good regulations. For example, we have regulation concerning chemical recycling. It is still pending, it needs support. On the other side, we need contestation and certain questioning of regulations which are not well thought over. They need more discussion and more attention and more understanding. And the banking industry, the new sharing is crucial. It is a action. It is a measure which will support those who are active here no matter what, and it supports those that want to operate here on the spot despite high energy prices. We have new challenge in front of us, which is stabilizing energy prices. Without affordable energy cost, we will not have Polish chemicals industry and other industries as well. Well, energy cost is crucial here, that's true. The ministry, well, ladies and gentlemen, if we were to approach it all in a very horizontal and holistic way, we need to talk about demography as well. Please notice that demographic conditions, especially on the European continent and in the European Union, are a key element we should discuss, because this is a great challenge in front of us, because soon we will wake up in a situation where in 2030 or 50 comes and we have a new problem we overlooked today. How would you join chemical industry and demography? How can we encourage demography as chemical industry? Well, you need to answer that question. We'll need to discuss to find the solution. Yes, I'm thinking that regulation seems easy concerning the third element, but I think that we are able to catch up here in demographics as well. And energy prices, yes, accelerating energy transition is important here. We need to accelerate administrative procedures concerning renewable energy, promoting investment projects concerning onshore, offshore energy, and nuclear energy as well. Also the new energy, SMR, and large-scale projects. We need to encourage it in order not to justify ourselves that we are counteracting the consequences and not working on the causes. We are working on the causes. Have we written down certain postulates which can be presented on the screen? Let's see them in the screen. In the meantime, I'd like to thank my panelists for their discussion, Mr. Motyka, Mr. Sługocki, Mr. Byczkowska, Legal Advisor Gajdus, Director Gocia. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and let's look at the postulates here.
Uszczelnienie rynku i
So, as you can see, tightening the EU's single market, introducing product minimum, relaxing the rules, getting back to a dialogue with the administrative bodies. Great. We will redraft it, we'll update it, we'll also update it in the app. So after the Congress, we will retouch the manifesto, and now Waldemar Pawlak is with us, former Prime Minister. He will read a letter by the Speaker, Deputy Speaker of the Senate. Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, Ms. Kidawa-Błońska. Ladies and gentlemen, a letter to you from the Deputy Speaker. The chemical industry is one of the basic pillars of the economy. About 10,000 companies hire 340,000 employees, and they generate about 18% of the whole Polish manufacturing industry. It's very important to all of us. The Polish chemistry contributes to generate Polish GDP, and it's very important to keep these companies competitive. The industry is now facing some challenges. I'm the Speaker of the Senate, so I just want to assure you that we are open to talking to you, and we are always eager to listen to the needs of citizens and business people. I'm sure that this Congress will help you bring the answers to the most important challenges of the world and to make plans for the future. I wish you an interesting and constructive debate. Let me greet the attendees of the Congress. Małgorzata Kidawa-Błońska, Speaker of the Senate. On behalf of the senators, let me tell you that we are looking forward to this proposal about better legislation. And we've been trying to develop legislative solutions that are better, that promote growth and unleash the potential of the industry. In 2015, we adopted the renewable energy legislation, which set fixed prices for prosumers. This was later turned upside down in 2016. A legislative act was adopted about net metering, which means that you can feed in energy into the system and take it back when you want it as a prosumer. So we slightly opened the door, but actually it led to the industry thriving. Citizens went ahead of any legislative proposals, and at the end of the day, the net billing had to be implemented. Look at the energy prices. Sometimes they are negative in our system, but no one can buy this energy because this is only beneficial to the operators and intermediaries in the transmission grid. Now, private transmission grids, this is something Minister Miłosz Motyka is in charge of. He is drafting a bill to fix these legislative issues that appeared recently, which led to a situation that we missed very many opportunities because instead of speaking about 10H of bans, let's speak about 10H of benefits, so that people who live close to the sources of energy, they can they can take advantage of cheaper prices. This would lead to a completely different situation because our country could grow at a much faster rate. As a member of the Senate, I can assure you that we are open to any regulatory legislative improvements. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm really sorry for the delay, but I think it's worth it. See you in 30 minutes.